everybody. Dave Weiss here for the Glue Bomb Show. Well, today I've got kind of a different thing. I'm going to do a review, but it's not a review of a kit. It's a review of a toolkit. Now, what most of you probably don't know about me is I don't have many tools. I do most everything with an X-Acto knife. My X-Acto knife cuts the pieces from my sprues. My X-Acto knife moves my decals around. My X-Acto knife scrapes the chrome. My X-Acto knife does a lot of stuff. Between that and sandpaper and this little tool that I bought at Michael's one time that's supposed to be used for cutting wire that I use for cutting pieces out of a kit sometimes, that's pretty much what I have. I do have a Dremel tool, but to be honest with you, I use that more for art than I do for my model building. I've used it to grind away a couple fenders when I needed a little more room, but that was about it. I don't really have a lot of tools. So for Christmas this year, I asked my wife if she would get me this kit that I saw on Amazon. It's listed as a Gundam building kit. And I thought, well, that's got a lot of the things that I really think I could use. So I asked her if she would pick it up for me, and she did. So I want to share with you what was in this kit. I think the kit was $29.95. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was $29.95. So in the kit, the first thing that you see, and it comes basically in a cardboard box and little plastic bags. So I actually got myself a little toolbox to put it in, and so that's what we're doing at this point. So the first thing you see is these little tweezers. These are, I'm not exactly sure what all the tweezers are. This is, it comes from Japan. All the things are in Japanese, so I'm not sure, but it has a little, a round tip, a curved tip that curves down, a narrower tip, and then this one again is more of a pointed narrow tip, and another narrow tip, and another narrow tip. Now, on the back of these, there is a diagram that shows what the different tips are in this set. I'm not, again, it's all written in Japanese, so I'm not exactly sure, but it's a bunch of tweezers, and I can always use tweezers. I should say that was another thing I did have in my toolkit, was a set of forceps that I picked up at a flea market. So, anyway, you've got 6 tweezers. Then you have these. These are called model grinding rods. I'm not exactly sure that's the best name for them, but it says it right there, model grinding rod. To me, these are like emery boards. They're just sanding boards, and that's good. We need stuff to sand, right? Every time you build a kit, there's something that needs to be sanded, even if it's just sanding off the chrome. Then we have this little square polishing thing. I'm assuming that that's what this is. I haven't put this one to work yet, but it looks like it's got some different sanding surfaces on it. We use that for sanding. And by the way, if I'm getting this wrong, because I don't know what some of these tools are, I'll just admit it. If I'm getting this wrong, please let me know, and please tell me how to use these things that I've gotten in my set. I got another thing. It looks sort of similar to that sanding block, but it's more of a rounded tongue depressor kind of shape. It's soft in the middle, so it actually flexes. So I'm sure that I'll be putting that to use as well. I just hope I'm using it the right way. And then they sent this little metal ruler. Now, the ruler does have inches on the back. On the front is centimeters and millimeters. Now, I'm here in the U.S., okay? We never went metric. And so now that I'm starting to buy kits that are not always from the U.S., I'm getting a lot more things in centimeters and millimeters. So this is going to come in handy. It's also metal, so it'll make a nice straight edge at times if I need that. Then we got these 2 little yellow plastic things. My confession to you is I don't know what they are. It almost looks like something that you would use to smooth putty, but I'm not sure. So again, if you know what these things are, please let me know. Again, the one thing the kit does not come with is instructions or a parts list, so you could tell what they are. We also, in the pack, was a pin vise, which is basically a little drill, a series of drill bits and a little holder for the drill. This is going to come in handy. I already know because I've got a kit that needs to be bored out a bit, so we're going to use that. I got an assortment of these little files. It's a nice round one, some flat ones, and then we have some, this one's square. There's another one that's triangular, and then there's a bunch of little flat ones, sounds like various degrees of roughness. There you go. I'm not exactly sure what you call it. Of course, we got the old standby, an X-Acto knife and a pack of blades. I don't think this is official X-Acto, but it's a craft knife nonetheless, and I'll be able to put it to use because you always need these, right? This is like one of the most useful tools modelers can have. And then we got a tool that I wasn't quite sure what it was at first because when I pulled it out, it looked kind of odd. It comes in this little purple bag. I was a little skeptical of the little lavender purple bag. And then I looked at the side and it said, nails decorator. And I think I know what this is. I think this is a little Dremel tool kind of thing. But of course, not official Dremel and battery operated. And I looked a little further and it does have some little grinding wheels in here. I can have a feeling that this would come in very handy for buffing and grinding and things like that. So I'm going to use this here and there, I'm sure. Wasn't really something I got the kit for, but I look forward to trying to put it to use. And here we got something that none of the rest of the pieces have, a little instruction guide. Of course, the instruction guide is how to do nails, but I figure you can change the application, right? Okay, so that's that. And then I got the most useful tool of all. As you probably know, because I've been talking about it for the last couple weeks, I've been working on Revell's 51 Henry J. Gasser. And I'm having a ball with it, folks. It's a really nice kit. But I'm building it very slowly because, frankly, I've been extremely busy, haven't had a lot of time. This is one of those where you glue a piece here, you glue a piece there, you paint a piece here, you paint a piece there, you let it sit for weeks in between, and you get very little done on it. However, it's really starting to look sharp. I'm really excited to show it to you. I'm really hoping this last part that I really have to put on, which is that flip-up nose piece, I'm hoping and praying that thing goes together as nicely as the rest of the kit does, because if it does, it's going to be a really beautiful kit. But I've heard some people have had fits with that thing, so we'll see. But this was the most useful tool I got. This is a real, actual, genuine sprue cutter. Again, I had that little wire cutter thing from Michaels that I thought I could use as a sprue cutter. That was not this. This is nice. Where before I would cut my pieces either with this little cutter that I got or an X-Acto knife, and then I always had to trim around the edges, this thing gets right up in there. I have almost no trimming to do with this. It is really, really nice. If you do not have a sprue cutter yet, get a sprue cutter. These things are great. Well, that's all that was in the kit. There was a cutting mat in there. The cutting mat was kind of nice, but I kept that at my home table. And also, it had a couple sheets of sandpaper in there, varying roughnesses, for lack of a better word. But anyway, I can see where some of these tools are going to come in really handy with some of the builds that I have coming up. I'm looking forward to putting more of them to use. Again, the sprue cutter was worth the price of admission. I think this thing cost $29.95. I'm not sure if that was the greatest value or not. However, I have a bunch of tools now that I can put to work in my building, and I'm excited about it. Anyway, it came in a cardboard box. All the parts were in plastic bags. I bought myself a little toolbox that I put everything into, and I'm excited to put more of it to work. So anyway, this will make your model building a little bit more fun, and that's good because model building is supposed to be fun. That's all I got for you today, guys. Have a good day, and we'll see you soon.